Please like and subscribe and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Can You Beat That Monster? Today we're here with Warren, my good friend Warren.
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's okay, it's here. This will be our second time now, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah, the last one had a bit of problems.
15 minutes of me talking to myself. That's what we got. So I'm going to ask you different questions today. So what was the animal you said you would beat today?
Anything smaller than me and a really, really obese pig. In fact, there's a particular pig, the world's biggest pig, which was 1,000 and something kilos. It hadn't walked in like 20 years, and as soon as it started walking, it broke its leg.
Have you ever got attacked by an animal before?
I was almost bitten by a poisonous snake.
Yeah, can you talk a bit about that? Sorry.
So it was in America. There's a thing called a copperhead, and it was a baby. So babies can't control how much venom they inject, so they're actually deadly rather than the adults, which just give you a bad flu or COVID. And so we were going to sleep in the basement of my cousin's house in America, and we were going downstairs, and I came downstairs, and I was going to, sit down, and a little baby copperhead came out, and I moved out of the way because I almost sat on it.
Yeah.
And then my uncle got some barbecue tongs.
Yeah.
Grabbed it. He's from Louisiana, by the way. So
Yeah.
Grabbed it with some tongs, got a pair of garden shears, and chopped off its head.
Well, we don't need to get your uncle on an episode then, do we? We already know what happens. That's a wonderful story. If you want to know, I got chased in a field once by a bunch of sheep. I was just walking along, and about 50 sheep all started chasing me.
The deadly case of sheep.
Oh no, I did actually think that'd be the end of me, to be honest.
How old were you?
It was last year. It was last summer. I was 14. I was walking behind because I was in a grump, and all of a sudden I saw one sheep, and it just started rearing, getting up and ready to charge. And I was like, what's happening? And then I saw 5 more, and then 20 just started following me. I was like, oh god. So I just started running off, and then as I run off, they started to run a little bit. They didn't catch me because they kind of, I don't know, they just gave up, but they started stalking me, and that was quite scary.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not here to talk about sheep, are we?
No.
We're here to talk about pigs. So
yes.
I did pick before. The wild boar is 600 kilograms and has tusks. And I don't know. I don't think that's fair because you said pig. Although I think
they are different species. Yes.
So they're technically a pig. I looked up most dangerous pig, and that's what came up on Google.
They're different. It's like a domesticated pig, so different to boars.
We got the Hungarian Mangalitsa. Now I know you're a cook, so after I'll ask you what you'll do with the meat if you destroy it. Bill gets upset watching these videos. We promise.
Vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah, I'd never hurt a fly. I always save flies. I don't kill anything. So let's get into it.
For yourself.
Have you got any experience with fighting anything? Fine.
Well, I have. One might say I have. I've been doing martial arts since I was 6 or 7, and I'm 15. So that's either 8 or 9 years of doing martial arts. That's 4 different types of martial arts, all very different: kickboxing, taekwondo, another Korean martial art. But then I've now currently done since the beginning a form of karate, which is the traditional form of karate, one of the main traditional ones, and I've been doing that for 8 years. So you might say I've experienced fighting.
Nothing would want to mess with you.
No one has, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, have you ever fought an opponent that's 2.6 feet and 500 kilograms, or either of the two?
I have fought someone who was 6 foot something.
Yeah. How did that go?
To begin with, I was losing boxing,
Yeah.
which then I punched them in the face in kick point, but it kind of stunned them enough so I could get off a head kick, and that took them out. So didn't knock them out, but
Oh.
they did get hurt.
Okay, well, going on to animals now. Oh,
Oh, I almost
what
lost
you'll
it.
do to it?
Is it would come from behind and like pin its neck and then try and choke it out.
Well, if it bites you, it has a strength of 300 psi, and that's a bite force, which a great white shark is 400, and that's just an average pig. So that big pig could be more than that. And what's that animal? German Shepherd is 270. So you don't want to get bit by that thing because many people have lost their arms to them.
I don't want to, no. But if you can edit it in, putting like a picture of the big fat pig. If you look at it,
just point anywhere.
Just over past that.
Over my head.
Yeah, just over your head. If you look at it, if you look at its neck, it probably can't turn its head to bite me if I'm behind it. So if I can and it'd be exhausted at this point.
Yeah, it would.
So I could try and pin it and just avoid it, which I think I would be able to. But you did say earlier that I would be able to bring weapons.
I did.
Oh, no, I could bring a weapon from my house.
Yes.
Now, it just so happens that I have this is blunt. You probably can't tell on the video, but it is blunt. Like currently it's safe. But if you give me like a few days, I could sharpen this up. Because it's like it is, hardened, so it could get an edge, I guess. So, but if I'm allowed it, I'm not sure I can quite fit it completely in frame.
Yeah.
Just to show you how big it is. But the idea is I can probably just have it skewer itself. Once it's tired, I just come from behind and stab it in the neck or something.
Maybe that's how you can roast it as well.
Yes, that's how I'm going to roast it.
Kill it. Well, my last question today is that once you've killed it, the breed of pig is. Why didn't I not write that? I hope I did write this down. Sorry. Give me a second. It is called the Kobe beef of pigs. Do you know what Kobe beef is? You probably do.
Nice beef.
It's Japanese black cattle. It's like the best wagyu you can get raised in
really?
Japan Haigu prefecture of Kobe City, because apparently pigs have been bred out of their fats, but this pig is very fatty, so it marbles nicely. It's the most flavoursome pig. So what dish would you make?
Well, since I'm dealing with a whole hog and it's a big hog and there's a lot of fat on this, I mean, I could probably, using my sword, gut it and all of that. If I wanted to, I could take off the bacon, the nice bits, but instead what I'm going to do is build a big fire, I guess, but what you're going to do is you're going to score the skin. Once you've taken off the skin, you score it and take an injection, big injecting needle, and you inject it full of like a nice you make a spice rub, which is a mix of spices, sort of barbecue, and then once you make that, you can mix it with some oil, because you don't want too much more fat. You just want it because it's already very fatty. So you could make a pig stock and you can put it into and mix with the herbs. Then you inject it into it. Then you rub it inside and out. It'll be a lot of spices, but you would rub it completely so it's coated, and you would skewer it from end to end, and you could do a whole hog roast, and you'd have to constantly inject it and stuff. Now you can either do it barbecue style, in which case your sides would be homemade baked beans, macaroni and cheese.
Lovely.
Yeah, I feel like that, and then some greens. I don't know, collard greens or salad, if you're going American. Or I can do this a traditional style roast dinner where you just fill it with an apple and chestnut stuffing on the inside, and like an apple in its mouth. If you know what I mean. And you roast that. You probably want to do mash with this is a French one, pompuree. Nice smooth. And you do some nice greens again, and use the fats that you can kind of collect off the pig and turn it into a sauce.
I hope I'm invited, Warren. I really do.
Yes,
I'm
don't
invited.
worry. As you set me up, since you set me up on this challenge, you can try some of the
I'll help you lift the 500-kilogram pig
pig.
from the field to the car to your home. Well, it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you for doing this
It has been lovely both times.
both times. I'm sad we didn't get the bit where we talked about the cutting of that show.
Oh, right.
Can you please explain that?
So Seb in the previous one was worried about how well the standard medieval sword will do it, cutting through the thick skin of the pig and all the fat and stuff. So you can kind of reduce this issue by just stabbing, and then you'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
If you want to cut, Seb will put up on a picture just past his head again of a forged in fire, which is a kind of them used swords basically. And here's a picture of them cutting through an entire pig with the sword. So
A great
that's kind of
swords,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this video with me. As I said, have you got any words for the subscribers?
Subscribe to Seb. He makes very good content. Leave a like and comment on what animal you think you could take down, the largest animal. And just saying, if you say nothing, you're lying. You can probably beat up a fly.
Yes, or like a little grasshopper, at least.
Yes.
Preferably something that's small. I mean, that's big enough that, but like slow, like a tortoise. I think, like pick it up. I think if you put a tortoise on its back, it just can't move. I think everyone could do that.
Yeah, but they've got strong bite force.
Subscribe or I will bite you.